Chapter 37, The Mirror Universe. I was marching across the cafeteria to give Trey a piece of my mind, and maybe a piece of my fist, when Jeffrey Gonzalez appeared in front of me like somebody transporting in one of those science fiction shows he watched. I almost knocked him over. "Hey, Amy Ann," he said. "Hey, Jeffrey," I said. "Excuse me, I need to go and punch somebody in the face." Jeffrey looked nervously behind him, wondering who I was talking about. "Oh, okay," he said. "I just wanted to say I was sorry, for getting you suspended." I stopped. "What?" "I'm sorry I got you suspended," Jeffrey said. He looked a little worried. I was going to punch him instead. "How did you get me suspended?" I asked. "It was that book you gave me, Bridge to Terabithia. I read it, and it made me think about my grandmother who died. When I finished it, I got really upset. My heart sank. I felt awful. I hadn't meant for Bridge to Terabithia to make Jeffrey feel bad. I had thought that maybe reading about somebody else who lost someone suddenly would make him understand he wasn't alone. Maybe show him there was a way out of the sadness. No, not like that," he said, seeing the worry on my face. "I mean, it made me cry." Jeffrey looked around embarrassed. "And I couldn't stop crying. That's when Mom and Dad came into my room, and I kind of let it all out. I hadn't really cried since Grammy died. I guess I needed to. Anyway, Mom and Dad saw it was the book that did it, so they called my principal. But not because they were mad. They called to say how great it was that Mrs. Jones gave me the book." I saw it all in my head. Jeffrey's parents called to tell Principal Banaszowski how Mrs. Jones helped Jeffrey by giving him the right book. "Oh, how wonderful," Mrs. Banaszowski says. "What book?" "Bridge to Terabithia," they say. Alarm bells go off for Principal Banaszowski. She's heard of that book. It was on the banned books list. She goes to Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones says she never gave anybody that book. It's right back here on the shelf, only it isn't. But then where did Jeffrey get it? "They made me tell," Jeffrey said. "I'm so sorry. I never meant to get you in trouble, and neither did my parents. They're real sorry, too. They said they would call your parents and let them know." I looked at Trey across the room, drawing in his sketchbook. A minute ago, I was ready to kill him for ratting me out. But it turned out he didn't have anything to do with it after all. "It's okay," I told Jeffrey. "I'm just glad you feel better. You got really mean there for a little while." "I know," Jeffrey said. "That was the Mirror Universe me." "The Mirror Universe you?" "Yeah," he said. "In Star Trek, there's this mirror universe, and everybody there is the opposite of what they are in this universe. So if you're good here, you're bad there. The mirror universe Jeffrey took over for a little while, but Jeffrey Prime is back now." He was losing me. "Well, whoever you are now, I'm glad you're back." Jeffrey smiled and saluted me with his fingers in a V shape. "Live long and prosper," he told me. "You too," I said. Instead of marching across to Trey, I went and stood in the cafeteria line, thinking about the Mirror Universe Amy Ann. Which one was the good one, and which one was the bad one? The Amy Ann who never spoke up and never got into trouble, or the Amy Ann who refused to accept a bad decision by the school board and did something good about it?